You want to guess what date this CC is? What if you saw this on the end of a roll listed online? Would you bid on it and take a chance of the rest of the roll if it's bankrupt looking and see if the rest of them are CCs like this, or maybe there's a CC on the other side on both sides? Would you bid on it? If you can say yes, then you're probably going to really get ripped off in this business. This hobby is probably not for you because you are going to lose your hind end. Stay tuned to find out what I'm talking about. Three years ago, I did two videos on these rolls of Morgan dollars that look bankrupt in an old paper on eBay. And I put, don't buy these Morgan dollar rolls ever. And then I prove how fake they are in another video. Recently, one day ago, somebody commented, and I want to read this comment because it's very telling. This is why I do these videos. I purchased 9 rolls from this seller. Some of them more than $2,300 a roll. I spent almost $20,000. I opened 6 rolls, didn't find any CC coins inside besides the N coins. Most of the coins were junk to me. I left 2 negative feedbacks, tried to warn other buyers. 2 days later, somehow eBay followed these negative feedbacks or allowed these feedbacks to be removed. I still have 3 more rolls left with me, which I know nothing are good in them. Anyone knows how to help me to warn others, I would be happy to pay to stop this guy. eBay knows, but allows this guy to run this scam on their system. Every single listing this guy has, there was always at least 1 or 2 CC Morgans at the end. This is $1 million scam they are running. As of right now, the scam is still running on eBay. And I'm sorry about the language here, but anyways, the bottom line is that I did the video, it's right here, and I show feedback, I show revised feedback. That's another thing you need to look for on these auctions. But if you go over to eBay, you'll see them. Now, I did a little bit of research. I asked a bunch of dealers and dealers from that area, and everybody knows what's going on here. Okay, the problem and the reason I ask about them is that because this is supposedly Southern Cal Fed Vault, which it's not. I mean, look at this. CC's on the ends. CC. I'm here to tell you something right now. Now he puts an 89 on one side, proof like, and puts a CC on the other side, making you think, well, 89 CC and proof. Oh my goodness, that's a lot of money. That's in itself is just deceiving. It doesn't matter if you're right or wrong or honest. That's deceiving on purpose. The problem with this is that if there was, and let's say a roll with CC's on the end that was actually bank wrapped and was found at a bank or at the U.S. Mint or in a safety deposit box, and it looked like the paper was actually old paper, that would be huge news if the right dealer found it. If the dealer was the type that, announced things like that because it was very important and maybe wanted to get more out of it at auction, that it was legit. That's one of the things that you have to understand. It would make huge news. It would be in Coin World. It would be all over the place. So obviously they've got, like I said, feedback's removed. You know why? Because the seller says this: if the rolls come back to him sealed as they sold them, he will refund. Otherwise, you open them up, you altered it. You've altered the product, okay? So you can't leave them bad feedback because they offer a refund. That's part of it. So when you buy these, you have no recourse except to leave them as they are and send them back. You can't just check them out and then send them back when they're unsearched or unopened rolls, because that unopened roll in itself is an item. You mess that item up and you no longer, you've altered it. So therefore it's not the same. That's how they're doing this. And they can have 100% feedback, just negatives, no negatives at all, just maybe neutrals. And that's how they're doing it. They know what they're doing. Everybody knows what they're doing. And we can take a look at like I said, the description down here. I mean, literally tells you a little bit about what they think's in the roll or saying it's in the roll. You'll definitely get BUs on each end and all that. But it tells you if you want a refund, basically, you have to send the rolls back as they are. If you wish a return on your roll, it must be kept in its original untampered condition. I mean, come on. And then this is the problem. This is the problem I had too. NGC, NX, PCGS, and CAC, and ANA logos. According to my research, there are not really probably dealers in this, but they put this to validate themselves and make themselves look official. And I'll tell you another reason I know these are modern wrapped, bank wrapped in aged paper or paper made to look old, is that any time I have ever opened an original roll, let's say Franklin has, Walking has, any, even wheat cents, dimes, you name it, that were silver, 90%, the coins on the ends were toned. They were never bright white on the ends, ever. That's why they call them end roll toned. These coins are not end roll toned. Look at all the listings. Every one of them on eBay that are like this, they don't have end roll toning. They weren't in these rolls long enough, and they're not old enough because they were wrapped recently in these rolls. That's enough to say they're doing this and being mischievous, being dishonest and deceitful. That's all there is to it. One of the other things about this is that roll crimpers, the patent came out, I think, in 1903. So there was no roll crimpers when the CC Mint was open. So the fact that there would be a BUCC on the end of a roll, you know, and the papers looks aged, but the fact that there would be a CC on in the roll is just impossible. They didn't roll them up. The U.S. Mint didn't roll Morgan dollars. They put them in bags. I mean, they were sitting in bags. You know, some of them may end up in rolls at one time or another. I mean, some of them might have thought of rolling them up whenever they came out with the dollar wrappers. You know, I know Eisenhower dollars in it, so I probably put Morgan dollars in rolls, but we're talking way later on, and they didn't look like this. I mean, this right here, and it's even put on print, make it look official. So, Guy, you know, I'll tell you what, this is the deal. I mean, I see your feedback here, or your comments. I mean, you got 20 grand to put in some coins, maybe take 20 grand and try to sue the guy. I don't know, but, you know, you got to find out who they are. I heard it was 3 different accounts, and they use all 3 of the accounts to do the same thing. And they found old paper, and they've used that paper to wrap these up, and they all look the same, and they all have CCs on the end. I mean, you got to know, too good to be true. Bottom line, stay away from this. I urge you, share this video. I mean, if anything, I'm not going to stop these guys because I'm not going to go all that. Maybe someone else would like to do that, but I just want to educate the viewers here that sees this, the viewers that run into this and think they're going to get this great deal, that they're not. It's not worth it, but there's still people bidding. Look at all the bids. $898, $1,025, $1,380. I mean, even if all the coins are BU, I'll bet you right now, I know that there are dealers, and you can do a little bit of math. 85 times 20 equals $1,700 for a roll, okay, of actual BU coins. And you can probably buy one from a dealer for that much, you know, in that range, 85 bucks a piece, maybe even cheaper, depending on the date. If you open this roll up and you have a CC on one end and on the other end there's just a BU coin, and then in the middle is a bunch of junk coins, you've already opened it, you can't get a refund, it's not worth it. You might as well go buy a lottery ticket and then go buy you a couple coins at retail and then buy you a lottery ticket. That's what you're getting. You basically have 2 BU coins on each end. You're going to get a CC, you're going to get a BU coin, and in the middle you're going to get a scratch-off ticket. I mean, that's what it amounts to. So thanks for watching my latest video. Please like, share, and comment. And please share this video. And have a great day.